Happy Sunday. It's about 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, April 20th. I took most of today off from actually making videos. It's been a busy weekend. I got a lot of sun yesterday at the protests, and I'm tired. So about 1:30 a.m. Saturday morning, the United States Supreme Court issued a decision putting a halt to Donald Trump's deportation flights out of North Texas for people that Trump says are subject to removal pursuant to the Alien Enemies Act. There were several things that were remarkable about that. They did it in a matter of hours. They bypassed the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, where appeals were pending, and they put it out before Justice Sam Alito had finished writing his dissent. We now have Justice Alito's dissent. He disagreed, and in a scathing 5-page minority opinion, Alito, who was joined in his dissent by Clarence Thomas, tore into his colleagues for handing down a decision he considers to be legally questionable. I'm going to ask a question at the end of this. In sum, literally in the middle of the night, the court issued unprecedented and legally questionable relief without giving the lower courts a chance to rule, without hearing from the opposing party. They didn't invite anything from the Trump administration before they ruled. Within 8 hours of receiving the application, 8 hours, with dubious factual support for its order and without providing any explanation for its order. Alito said, "I refused to join the court's order because we had no good reason to think that under the circumstances, issuing an order at midnight was necessary or appropriate." But he also kind of warned the Trump administration that they have to obey the courts. He also wrote, "Both the executive and the judiciary have an obligation to follow the law. The executive branch must proceed under the terms of our order, and this court should follow established procedures." Sam Alito is just angry at everybody all the time. And Clarence Thomas is just like, "Who's taking me on vacation this summer, man? Come on." "Where are we going fishing? Who's taking me to Europe on a yacht?" Hey, it's travel season. I wonder if either of them will have their devices searched when they re-enter the U.S. this summer after going on vacations with billionaires. It was a stunning decision for all of those reasons that I said. And fortunately, so the decision that the Supreme Court issued is valid and enforceable in the Northern District of Texas, which is where one of these ICE detention centers is, from where people get deported. I think it's called the Blue Bonnet in Texas, Blue Bonnet Detention Center. And so last week, the Supreme Court issued a ruling saying, all of these immigrants have the right to file habeas petitions to protest their deportation, but they have to do it where they're being held. Well, there are 90 district court jurisdictions across the United States. So, and the immigration guy for the ACLU said he's got petitions ready to file in all 90 of those jurisdictions. And now he's got a Supreme Court decision to attach to each one of those. So that'll make his work much, much easier. So we'll see how this starts to play out this week. But, I'm just wondering why Donald Trump hasn't just come out and explicitly said, the Supreme Court has no jurisdiction over the decisions that I make about immigration and deportations. Just state that flat out, because that's clearly how he feels. But he apparently doesn't have the balls to say that out loud. So we'll see what happens this week.